Hey, iPad mini. You'll be on eBay in a matter of days. No offense. Oh, hello, Apple Watch. Hello, guys. How are you? David the Franco here from davidthefranco.com. As you can see, right... Oh, it's done. It's done. The Apple event has officially wrapped up. So let's talk about the iPad Pro. Because I have a lot to say, guys. I have my thoughts to give you, and you may not agree with them, but you know what? That's the beauty of this world. We all have different opinions. And with that said, you might find it shocking that I have pretty much zero interest in the iPad Pro. It's exactly what I was afraid of it turning out to be. Simply a larger size iPad with an optional keyboard accessory and the Apple Pencil, which actually does interest me, but I'll talk about that in a bit. So yes, the iPad Pro is official. It's a 12.9-inch iPad, the largest in Apple's history, with a beautiful resolution of 2732 by 2048, totaling to about 5.6 million pixels. That's a lot of pixels. Yeah, that's a lot of pixels. It features an A9X chip, which is a third generation 64-bit chip. And according to Apple, this chip is faster than 80 to 90% of portable PCs. So that's certainly something to keep in mind if you're in the professional field. It features a 10-hour battery life, which isn't as impressive as I was expecting, but hey, 10 hours, it's not bad. It does feature something new, a 4-speaker audio system, a first ever for an Apple device, which is pretty cool. So apparently, I always think of that kid on the news. Apparently the iPad Pro is going to automatically balance out the audio depending on how you're holding the iPad Pro. So whether you're holding it via landscape or via portrait orientation, the audio should sound great in theory. The iPad Pro is No, it's not 69 millimeters thin. I got distracted. The iPad Pro is 6.9 millimeters thin, which is definitely quite impressive, and it's slightly heavier than the first iPad, which might seem like a bad thing at first, but if you factor in the 9.7-inch display when compared to the new 12.9-inch display, and it's only slightly heavier than the first generation iPad, it's not a bad deal. Now, this is where things get interesting. The iPad Pro has an optional accessory called the Smart Keyboard, which seems strikingly similar to what the the Surface Pro currently offers. And I gotta be honest, iPad Pro, Surface Pro, there doesn't seem to be that huge of a difference, except for this, the Apple Pencil. Yes, this is where things get really interesting in my opinion. The Apple Pencil, which might be similar to the stylus that you can get with a Surface Pro, but according to Apple, this is a very precise accessory that just makes your iPad Pro experience that much better. Okay, so the Apple Pencil, which by the way, I love the name, the Apple Pencil uses highly responsive sensors that detect precision, force, and tilt. And it has an incredibly low response time. So factoring all these features into one experience, who is the iPad Pro for? Well, it could certainly be for someone like myself who enjoys art, who enjoys photography, who enjoys Photoshop, and just the kind of user who enjoys touching their work. That sounds kind of weird, but I'm sure some of you know exactly what I mean. But even with that said, the iPad Pro, it's just not overall that interesting to me because it doesn't seem to be that unique. Again, it's just a larger sized iPad with an optional keyboard and the optional Apple Pencil, which again, I will say, the Apple Pencil seems very interesting, but apparently it only works with the iPad Pro and not any of the other iPad products, which is definitely a deal breaker for me, because the Apple Pencil sells for just $99, which in my opinion is not that bad. But with that said, the Smart Keyboard does sell for $169, which is not that cheap. Really? Hold on, guys, hold on. It has been a long day. I'm trying to get through this the best I can. All right, guys, you know what? Let's just wrap up the iPad Pro coverage because, again, just go to apple.com. I'm just giving you my thoughts as I go. The iPad Pro will start at $799, which I don't think is too crazy. That's definitely cheaper than the kind of experience you'll get with the Surface Pro, which, yes, you could argue that, but when you factor in specs and performance and all that good stuff, factoring in the App Store alone is a huge selling point for many iPad Pro potential customers. So keep that in mind. That's definitely a huge selling point. And there go my monitors. Yeah, I didn't really prepare for this video except for these notes I printed out. It's a lot of information to take in. So with that said, the iPad Pro will be available in November. Will I be buying one? No, it simply doesn't pertain to me. But you know what? Apple does their research, so clearly there's a market out there and perhaps the iPad Pro will sell just fine. So let's talk about the iPad Mini 4. Just like last year, they showed it on a slide real quick. Boom, here's a new iPad Mini. Next. But with that said, at least they gave it an actual update this year. So in basic terms, the iPad Mini 4 is getting the specs of the iPad Air 2 at the same price as the current iPad Mini 3. And guys, you know what? That's enough for me. That makes me happy because my iPad Mini 3 is quite slow. Performance just isn't that great. And well, I could really use an upgrade. So yes, I will be selling my iPad Mini 3 and be buying myself the iPad Mini 4. I mean, guys, think about it. iPad Air 2 performance in just a 7.9-inch tablet, that makes me happy. So Apple, sign me up. Apple.com, check it out. I just wanted to give you guys my brief thoughts. So there you go. My Apple Watch is going off. Guys, thank you so much for watching. And stay tuned for my next video, which is all about the Apple TV. Now that is where things get really, really exciting. I'll see you in that video. Peace.